Later on the show, I'm hanging out with social media mogul TS Madison. My producers are asking if you'd like to stick around for a little while longer because we have TS Madison coming up next.
Okay. No, sure, of course.
Okay,
well, I don't want to interrupt on her interview.
Well, we're going to work it out during this quick commercial break. We'll be back with Kandi Burress and TS Madison right after the break. Welcome back to Out Loud with your girl, Claudia Jordan. Now, we had Kandi Burress on the show, but we're going to keep her around because we have another guest that's going to sure to bring some fire. We've got TS Madison from the Queen Supreme Court. Welcome to the show.
My God. Hi, Claudia. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm glad to see you on here.
I'm glad to be here. You have some beautiful teeth.
The front ones.
They are beautiful. Where's that candy at? You ain't gonna have me. You ain't gonna have
like
me.
You don't see me.
Oh, hey, Kandi. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, Miss TS Madison?
How you doing, Kandi? What's been going on with you, girl? I ain't seen you in about 9-10 years, girl. Wait a minute.
It's been a while since we seen each other.
Mm-hmm. I did see you down there to that party over there at WeTV, girl. You know, I was like, girl, I wonder if she gonna speak to me, and she didn't.
Oh no, is that you, Kandi?
Well, I reciprocate the energy that is given to me.
So you two were at odds a little bit for a while, right? And just recently made up. Is that true?
Well, okay. You know, as you know before, the show in the first phase, it was called The Queen's Court, and it was with myself and my former co-host, who you know.
Neck, my back.
Yes, very that.
Call him My Neck, My Back.
Yes, and you know, she and I would sit on this right here in this very space. And for those people out there that were thinking that this was her living room, no, it was mine. But you know, that's not me.
Did people think that was her living room?
Well, you know, sometimes with old videos, I be seeing people under it saying, "Oh, at least she got a nice living room." It's like, no, that's my house. But
because I see the video she does now, it has like brown panel behind her. That's somewhere else, right?
No, that's not my house. Well, that's. But when we sat next to each other, you know, she would, you know, Kandi, she would fry you, and you know, I'll be on your ass too. I'll be on your ass too a little bit, because, you know, I felt like back in the day you had shaded me 10 years ago over there.
You know what? And see, that's where the misunderstanding lies. Like, first of all, when I saw her on her show with her old co-host and she be going in on me, I was sitting there like, oh, damn, I thought me and T.S. Madison, I thought we was cool. Mm-hmm. I thought we was cool. You know, we actually had met years prior. She had came on to Candy Coated Nights, and ever since then, I always had love for her. I didn't realize that you felt the way.
Yeah, I did, because, you know, I felt like you had, you know, threw me a little shade, you know what I'm saying? Because I thought that you knew the other people that was there on the show. You know, I thought that you guys had a tighter bond, and then, because you was very much so like, well, girl, I could tell you a man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what? Girl, I was like, oh, well.
Time out, see? Before she said it, you got to give them the context and context.
Right. What is this? What is?
It was Candy Coated Nights. She was on Candy Coated Nights, and at the time, this was 11 years ago, mind you.
Yeah.
Oh no, 9 years ago.
10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, and we weren't socially correct, and the show was about. It was supposed to educate everybody about the trans community. Well, it really was just like the differences between trans men, trans women, cis men. You know, that's what it was about. And we had somebody to represent each category or whatever. Mm-hmm. And Miss T.S. Madison, she represented trans women.
Well, I represent trans women, and the other guests, they represented trans women, but we were from different walks of life. They were from the ballroom scene, and, you know, I was from the adult entertainment scene. And see, at the time, Kandi, you know, why I had like heavy respect for you, because, you know, you like the dark arts, girl. You like you know, you all freak on the inside. So, you know.
For sure. Well, okay. So here's the thing. This is where the misunderstanding comes. Okay. So I thought that she didn't really care about people knowing her TV because of if you know anything about her prior business or whatever, that was her brand, her brand name, basically, her prior brand name. Yeah. So with that being said, I didn't think that it was something that was a sensitive topic for her. You get what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, you know, it wasn't really sensitive. It was just like, I felt slighted. I felt like shaded a little bit, you know, and I held that. And maybe I should have just reached out instead of.
You should have. We should have just talked about it. Basically, she thought I was showing favoritism to the other.
Because they was
other trans people that were on the panel.
Yeah, because I felt like you felt that they was more realer than me. Like they was more passable than me. Because girl, you gave. Oh, I could see it. I was like, girl.
You know what? One thing I did learn from reality television is a little small thing, and not to minimize what you felt, TS Madison, because it's not. Things get blown out of proportion, especially the more time that goes by, and then people are in your ear, people in her ear. And before you know it, it's this big thing that could have been squashed in one lunch.
Yeah, but then
we don't do that anymore. We don't, like on reality TV. We had to sit down with someone, a bitch you couldn't stand, right? And talk some things out. And that's one thing I learned. I got out of that show is a lot of times things get so blown out of proportion. You know what I mean? And look at you.
But then as time passed, you know, Tamar and I became good Judys, and I think that you had a misconception, or the group had a misconception that, you know, she was bringing us there to read you guys or whatever. And I get it. Even when I had a rebuttal for it when we were quote unquote, because did y'all throw us out, Kandi? I want to know this. Did y'all throw us out? Who threw us out, girl?
Who throwed you out? Okay. Technically we was responsible, but I mean, I guess it was more ultimately, you know, people on our team that made the decision to throw you out.
That was out of one of your shows, right? It was at one of your shows. This for the audience that doesn't know.
So here's what happened. First of all, I didn't even know. I didn't even know TS Madison.
That I was in there. Yeah,
she was there. The only person whose name was named was her old co-host.
Yeah,
my neck, my back.
Her old co-host, basically. Her old co-host, they said, oh, she didn't came up in here. Now, mind you, at the time, she had been dogging the shit out of us, me definitely, and some of our close friends. And so I was like, when they said she was going on the stage, I was like, oh, no, that bitch ain't going on nobody's stage. Not on New Year's Eve. We're not bringing this on the stage. We done got all these people out here in Atlanta on New Year's Eve. I'm not taking this into my new year. And I was not the only one in my group. And I know everybody swear I make the decisions for the group, but it actually is not just my decision alone. Some of my group members, they was definitely felt very strong about it. And significant others felt strong about it.
So here's the thing.
They said y'all had to go.
My problem was because Vince came back there and he told us that we couldn't perform. He said we could have went out there and watched you guys do the show, but we couldn't go on stage. So, you know, y'all blocked us. Y'all told us we couldn't go on stage, but y'all ain't throw us out. They ain't throw us out. We still were gonna go with it. I was like, nah, I ain't finna be. But I get it. I understand. You know how
I didn't tell them to throw you out. I just told them that y'all wouldn't. Well, not y'all, because I didn't even know you was your friend. I just said your friend wasn't getting on that damn stage because she wasn't finna get on no stage and then come back to y'all show talking about, fuck them hoes, I done performed on their stage or diss us on our own thing. Like, that wasn't happening.
Yeah, I gotta jump in, you guys, for the people that do not know the backstory. Basically, in a nutshell, okay, there was some beef with TS Madison's old co-host, which was Kaya. Okay. Kaya went to the concert with TS Madison and others, right? There's a group of y'all. Was Tamar with you guys?
Tamar was there. Tamar
came to work with Tamar.
Okay. So y'all showed up. Word got back to Kandi and the rest of the group that y'all were there to kind of get on stage, and then you were escorted out. Is that basically the back?
Well, what happened was I came in first to make sure that the coast was clear. So
when I look out.
Yeah, when I came in first, I made sure the coach was good. I saw Tiny. I waved to her, and I saw the look she gave, like, wait. So she was aware what was going on a little. So she gave a look. I saw the look with Tiny look like, wait. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, girl. So I called Kaya on the phone, and I said, well, girl, you know, come on in, girl. You know what I'm saying? We done got through checkpoints and we will, you know. And Tamar was not trying to sneak us in. She had invited us. And it was during the time when that little scandal was going on with Lord Govan, the Govan stuff, and thinking that Vince and her were having an affair or some kind of shit.
Wait. TS, hold that thought. We have to just remember that place. We have to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more of this story. We have a cliffhanger real quick.
Okay.
Back right after
they got me on here with this mess. I ain't talked about it.
Welcome back to the show. Listen, this is not the show we planned. I just want to be clear. We're going to have a half hour Kandi Burress and a half hour with Miss TS Madison. But guess what? We found out that there was an issue between the two of them. And this is the first time they've got to talk to each other and clear the air. So I'm going to throw all my other questions out the window because I think this is very important for two queens to get together and to squash it. Because we got enough people adding fuel to the fire. And right now they can hear each other's voices, each other's words, not get it misconstrued with the third party. They are talking to each other face to face. T.S. Madison, you have the floor. Please continue.
Well, I just want to make it clear, Kandi, that Tamar did not bring us there to bash you, Escape, or anybody over there. We came there because we were the popular thing at the time in the city. And she was doing this in every place that you guys went. And I just wanted to, you know, make sure that we clear the air with that type of stuff. Like, cause you ain't beefing with me. I ain't beefing with you. You a phenomenal businesswoman. I can't take that away from you. No matter what people say about you, you are a boss. So at the end of the day, you can't hate on the boss. And you know that I'm a boss in the business that I was in and now, you know, so here's what it is. And I don't want to go through the rest of my life or in this world with some L towards you or anybody in the group, especially during this time right now where Black lives are so important and unity is extremely important for us as Black people right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to say I'm done with it. You done with it, sister?
Kandi,
yes, I've been done with it. Okay, so let me say this. T.S. Madison, I had love from you from the time I met you. I thought we was cool the whole time until I saw you dissing us with your old co-host, okay? So I didn't realize that you thought I had shown favoritism to the other people that was on the show with you on Candy Coated Nights years ago. I did not know that. And I'm glad we were able to clear the air on that right now. I always thought you were a great businesswoman. Always. I knew you was getting to the money. Yeah. That's what I loved about you. And I love that you were very open, honest, and your personality is just way over the top. And I always love that about you. But, you know, when you got over there with your friend and talking trash, and then y'all came to the show, it wasn't just me. I just felt that, but obviously I wasn't even gonna say that. I get it. And was like, oh hell no, they got to get up out of here.
Yeah, I get it. I understand it. But see, the only thing about it for me, it was just like the way it happened that you possibly didn't know how it was really going on. It just was the word from up top, like, oh no. You know, because, you know, the police came in, they were saying we had weapons, my mama was there. You know, it was just a lot of, you know, things that I felt was so unnecessary, whatever. But we here, it's 2020. That shit, all that shit done changed, and
it's over.
It's over. Yeah. Now we got to get to these real pressing issues that's going on in our community.
Now that we got past that, and I'm glad that we can provide the hour to talk about this and to squash this. Now, TS, I got to get to some questions to you because all the things that are happening in the Black community, you know, the Black Lives Matter, they're everywhere. You see white people holding up signs that say Black Lives Matter, but there was recently a beating of a transgender woman. I think it was in Minnesota.
Yeah, Ayana Dior.
How do you feel about seeing that? And do you feel that when people say Black Lives Matter, do you feel like the trans community is still being left out of that?
Yes, I do feel like at times we are excluded from that because, you know, for me, I'm Black before I'm anything. Well, I'm human first, but I'm Black before I'm anything. And when I have brothers, I have cousins, I have uncles, and I'm in myself. And I'm in fear when I see a Black man get up in the morning and go out because he may not ever come back home. You know, I can get up and go out and not ever come back home. So with me not even not feeling included, I know that it is my duty to still stand up for Black lives protests and movements, because I'm Black first. Now, the thing that hurts me the most is that I got to face white supremacy from the white man. Then I got to turn around and face hatred from my own Black, you know? So I think what people don't understand with trans women is that it's hard, and it gets more and more difficult when each year 2, 3, 4 of us are being killed in 1 year, and no one is really speaking up for us or standing up for us or protesting for us the way that they are. You know, because when Trayvon Martin died, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, you know, all of these, Sandra Bland, I'm forward using my voice to talk about this stuff, you know, but if the tables were turned, there's that question, would they do this for me? Now, Kandi, I did see you the other day, you posted about it, you know, about Ayanna Dior, and I'm glad that you did that. We need more people, we need more real allies, and Meg Thee Stallion did it, you know, of course, we were doing what we could do on our posts, but it's imperative that we stand together united, you know, because a fist, I say this on my morning show and my other show, a fist together serves a more powerful blow than separated. Like, this is not a fist. This is not a fist. We can't deliver a powerful blow being separated like that. And I don't think that sexuality, sexual orientation, and identity should separate us as Black people in the movement.
And I'd like to add something to that. I had an experience that I made a mistake, a misstep, with, you know, using improper pronouns, and I was dragged. And what I did,
think I did it too.
Yeah, I know, you did. But I didn't get defensive and say anything back. You know what I did? I opened up my radio show to members of the trans community. I had one drive down 12 hours, and I was so honored. And in my red state of Texas, I had a show, which I'm sure people weren't happy about that, but I didn't care. And I opened up the forum, and we had 2 hours of phone calls from people. And here's my thing. To people on both sides, if you make a mistake, please don't crucify us if we do make a mistake. Educate. And I love that people were willing to tell me the right way to do it. And guess what? Once I was corrected and shown, never make that mistake again, because now it's not a mistake. Now you're doing it on purpose.
Correct.
So I ask of the trans community to be patient with some of us that are ignorant, because not everybody knows, and things have changed so much in the past 5 years. The things that used to be okay to say, and I don't mean okay, but I mean kind of okay. People would just say it because everyone else was. A lot of people don't know that things have changed like they have. And once you are corrected, like I said, if you keep choosing to make that same mistake, now you're doing it on purpose.
Right.
So I feel like we need to have more dialogue amongst each other to know what the right and wrong thing to do is. But at the end of the day, we're still human and we're still Black. And I think we shouldn't have to say Black trans lives matter. That should all be included under the Black umbrella. And I think it's bullshit that we have to have a whole separate one, because there still are Black people who know what it feels like to be discriminated against, who knows what it feels like to be killed for something you cannot control. You know, it should automatically be under that umbrella.
Yes. For sure. But we have so much internalized homophobia, you know, transphobia. You know, people fear what they don't understand. You know, that's what a phobia is. It's not like I'm afraid of you because I don't understand it. So it's a mental illness. It's crazy. It's dumb. I don't see it. You know, if this is not something that you're experiencing, or this is not something that you can identify with or relate to, it becomes you are afraid of it. But I have to say, I like the fact that, you know, you are willing and open to be educated on things. Because even myself, like, I'm not the greatest speaker when it comes down to trans issues, because, you know, I've been ostracized a bunch of times for, you know, my past work. However, you know I can talk to you as a trans woman and talk to you from my experiences with men, especially Black men, because I'm Black, and, you know, that's what's killing us majority of the time are Black men, you know?
I had a friend since 1991, before it was really so public, the trans lifestyle. And I just knew my friend as my friend Tracy. And I still made those mistakes. So what I want to do, and I want to say it right now in front of everybody that's watching, when the pandemic is over, when you're in Los Angeles, I want to figure out a time where you can come into the studio and we can have a sit down, kind of a forum or just something with you in studio, because I feel like it's just not enough time in the show to really get to the issue like I like to.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I really would love to invite you to the FoxSoul studio to have this conversation.
I'd love to come, and I'd like to bring, some of my trans sisters with me that can probably articulate it even better than me, We
can have the entire audience be members of the trans community, or however we want to do. We are going to do this in the future, the very near future, because I feel like
I think that's the best thing to do, because constantly over the past 10 years, I think a lot more people are being educated and learning what are the right things to say, what's not the right thing to say. And just overall, it's just, I always say, educate your friends, educate anybody that you're an associate of, when it comes to gender, when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to race. We all tend to know somebody who says the wrong thing and is not aware of what they're doing or how they're affecting people. And I feel like it's always our job as their friend or associate to pull them to the side and kind of school them on, that's not what you're supposed to say, or that's not what you're supposed to do.
Correct. But Claudia said something very important. She said that she had the willingness to learn, the willingness to understand. There are some people that you try to teach them the proper way of conducting themselves, or not even trying to change your mindset, but just respecting me as a person, the proper way to respect me. And they don't want to do it,
Right.
And I think that's where we start the conversation at, when we all get together. It's not about me trying to change your mindset or what it is that you solely believe or how you were raised. It's about you ultimately respecting me the way that I respect you.
Exactly. And one last thing before we go, and I hate that this hour went by so fast. To my Black people that are watching, we know what it feels like to be discriminated against. We know it. And I know there's a lot of conflict in the Black community, because we've got church telling us this is bad and this is bad, and confusing the conversation, muddying the water. Let me just say this. If God thought being gay or trans was wrong, he would have never created that. We've never created them. That's ridiculous to think someone that's gay or trans is going to go to hell because it doesn't fit your interpretation of how you interpreted the Bible. Yeah. And I'm going to leave it at that until we have our forum, because it's a whole nother hour or two. Kandi Burress, thank you so much. I'm so sorry we didn't get to talk more about your projects, but we have your song to look forward to. The new winner, the first female winner of the Masked Singer. We're very proud of you. Keep doing your thing on Real Housewives. I don't miss the anxiety, but I do miss you. TS Madison, please continue to be as fabulous and entertaining as you are, and wonderful and speaking out for your community. And I cannot wait to have you in the studio. And Kandi, when you're in LA, I would love to have you on as well.
Yes.
In studio. I just think there's just a lot more we need to talk about, because people are still out here being ignorant and then using religion and all other things to justify their actions. We had a lot of trans murders here in Dallas, and it's got to stop.
Yes.
You be safe out there.